Man, if I could have any superpower, it would be the power of viewing hindsight as foresight. The ability to see the outcome of decisions and have the choice to choose based on that. I don't want it all, just that. I mean, that's kind of like having it all, but hey, it's a wish, right? Well, I'm sure I'm not the only one. Today's feature is a guy that I know would do things totally different if given the opportunity. Douce Bello, born September 19, 1992. A high school star with a top 5 basketball name and even more clout online at the time. But that's the thing about clout. It requires you to constantly reinvent yourself to keep the attention on you. In basketball, the only way to do that is not as easy as it looks. Salute to Blake the Great, Classic Slayer 456, Him Fresco, and Ace Sosa for the request. And salute to everyone I miss. Now let's get into why Douce Bello doesn't have the clout anymore. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Ash get it. Stunt number 1, victim of the clout machine. The easiest way to build a name is to have it built for you. It's actually the easiest way to do anything. But there's one machine that instantly gives you the clout once you sift through its maze. YouTube, the place where stars are made, and made is exactly what Bello was. He played his senior basketball at Westchester Country Day School in High Point, North Carolina, along with his partner in crime and fellow Stunted Growth alum, Quincy Miller. Bello was a standout player that was mainly known for his leaping abilities. At 6'4", an argument can also be made that he was extremely out of position, not having any point guard skills at the time at all. But I'm not going to dwell there. The thing is, look at his videos and tell me if you see him shooting a step back 3, splitting the defense into a mid-range jumper, coming off a curl and hitting a fluid shot off a screen. I promise you won't. But if you pay attention solely to the clout machine, you think Douce was the best player in his class, or at least top 10. Nope, he was actually ranked outside of the top 50 by ESPN and lower by other standards. For a guy ranked this low, isn't supposed to have the expectations like he had. Because of his cool name and athletic abilities, the clout machine thrusted him into the spotlight, and everyone expected him to thrive in his sport. I think this may have gotten to his head, leading him to make some bad college decisions that were not productive for his skill set. Stunt number 2, following the leader. Bello would finish his high school career averaging just under 20 points per game and 4 rebounds as a senior. He was rated as low as 60th in his class, the 29th shooting guard in the country, and also didn't have a true position, actually being listed as a small forward. With these stats and attributes, he should have never committed to a school like the Baylor Bears, a school that already had a top player in the country and fellow YouTube clout machine star in Perry Jones. He committed on the same day his fellow teammate, best friend, and partner in crime, Quincy Miller did. What differentiates them is that Quincy was expected to go into the college landscape and become an instant star and one-and-done player, which for the most part he did. The two together created lots of hype on the internet, and because of the internet, a lot of hype in the basketball world. But upon entering his first year at Baylor, Bello would rarely see the floor, playing just 10 minutes a game in his first season, shooting 18% from 3 and 56% from the free throw line, and averaging 3 points per game. His second season was much of the same as far as his minutes, with his numbers actually taking a dip. After the season, Bello would ask for his release papers and begin the transfer process. A wasted 2 years in my opinion. Now, I get why he attempted to go the Baylor route. It just didn't work out that way, and it rarely does. He wanted to continue riding the clout wave he and Miller had created for themselves by sticking together. The only problem with that, when you get to the D1 NBA level, there's no such thing. You become as individual as you will ever be. That's one gem I'd like to leave. Work on what's best for you, man. Had he went to a smaller D1 school, he could have carried that same clout there, put up numbers, and had a better shot. With those numbers and about to transfer, you basically give yourself the smallest chance you will ever have. Stunt number 3, where do I fit in? After not having the years he expected at Baylor and his friend Quincy Miller now gone to the NBA, Douce decided to transfer and commit to the University of Missouri. He was excited to get another chance at another school that was in a big-time conference. But see, that's just the problem. Bello is not a big-time player after all. At 6'4", with no natural point guard skills and not being that great of a scorer, shooter, or leader, it's just not going to work. The game moves too fast, and there's too many guys with your exact skills that are better than you. Douce arrived at Missouri and learned this the hard way. In his junior season, he saw the exact amount of minutes, scored less points, and shot the ball even worse than he did in his first school. This couldn't have went any less challenging. Add to that, he served a 5-game suspension while at Missouri for academic reasons. By the end of the season, Bello would be on the move once again, to a place I think he should have went to in the first place, a small D1 school that'll appreciate his talents, or lack thereof, and use him in the most efficient way. This would be the East Tennessee State University, where he'd see a lot more minutes and his numbers all drastically improve. Thing is, the improvement just wasn't enough. In 36 games, he averaged 21 minutes per game, shot 54 and 31%, and 9.2 points a game. If you ask me, that's still some bullshit they only played him 20 minutes a game, man. Choosing the right program sounds easy, but here you have a guy that chose the wrong program 3 times. By this point, his NBA chances were done. An undersized player that only showed he could jump, along with disappointing numbers, were just not enough. He would bounce around from here on in places like Denmark, but as far as a career in the NBA, the window is closed, for now. He's still a young guy that I see putting in the work, so who knows? Wish him all the best, man. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth, and I'm out.